Hi and welcome to Books, Baking and Vlogging. My name is Anne and this is my very first YouTube video. I've decided to do the BookTube Newbie tag because I don't really know what to talk about in this first video. I thought I might do an April wrap-up or an April or a May TBR, but then it's already halfway through May, so that seems a little bit irrelevant now. Since this is my first video, I'll quickly introduce myself. I'm Anne, I'm 25 and I'm from the Netherlands, and I have a blog called Books, Baking and Blogging, and I've been blogging there for the last 5 years now, I think. Most of you who will be watching this might be coming from there or from Twitter, so you already know who I am. For those of you who are new, hi, welcome. I'm very glad you clicked on this video and decided to watch this. So, the BookTube Newbie tag. I have no idea who first came up with this. Perhaps I should have figured that out before I started filming, so I could give proper credit where credit is due. But I've seen it around a lot on BookTube, so I thought it'd be a good way to introduce myself and introduce my channel. So, let's get into it. The first question is, why did you start this channel? Well, I'm still not entirely sure I have started this channel, because this might never even see the light of day. But why I started my channel is because I kind of got this itch. I've been blogging for 5 years now, like I said, but lately I've been watching more BookTube than I have been reading blogs. So I guess I kind of wanted to join in the fun. Another reason to start this channel for me is to get out of my comfort zone. I've been blogging for a while now and I'm completely comfortable with that. I love writing, I love blogging, but I think it might be time to start something new, which is why I've turned to YouTube. I've actually been thinking about doing this for quite some months now, and more seriously for a few weeks, but this is the first time I'm actually sitting down and filming myself, because writing is one thing, for me at least, but sitting in front of a camera and talking to it and knowing people will actually see it later is something completely different. It makes me feel very vulnerable and a little scared, to be honest, but it is something I want to try. It's something I've been thinking about for so long now, and I think it's just time I take the leap. So there's the comfort zone issue, but there's also a more practical part to it, I think. I don't have any video editing skills and I'd like to develop those, and I think starting to vlog is a really good way to do that. It also might make public speaking a little more easy for me, since I will have to be talking to a camera quite often and people will actually get to see it, so perhaps talking will come a bit easier to me, because I'm not very comfortable speaking in front of a lot of people, or even a few people, to be honest. So, question 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Well, there's a question. It's a difficult question. I'm not really sure. I read a lot of different stuff, so that might be it. I read quite a few backlist books as well. So not just all the new releases. In fact, I usually get around to the new releases about a year after they've been released. So if you're not up to date, welcome to the club. Me neither. We'll get to talk about that here. Like I said, I'm from the Netherlands, so I might be able to add in a bit of Dutch culture here and there. I don't know how exactly yet, or what that might look like, but who knows. And then there's of course the baking part of my channel name, Books, Baking and Vlogging. I definitely want to make baking videos. My blog is just as much about books as it is about baking. I have a ton of recipes there if you're interested. Go check it out. I'd really like to make baking videos, but I'm not really sure how I would go about that yet. I don't have a tripod, for instance, so my camera is now just sitting on a chair with a bunch of boxes on it, and that's fine if you're just sitting in front of a bookcase and not moving around at all. But if I'm going to make videos of me baking, I'll have to be in my kitchen, and I move around quite a bit when I'm baking. Usually because I have music on and I dance around a lot, which might be interesting to look at. But also because I just have to get stuff out and get to the fridge and things like that. Also, I'm not really sure yet how I would structure those baking videos. I really like those videos that are taken from top down, just with the music underneath it, where you can clearly see what the people are doing. I also like the vlog style baking videos with people actually explaining to you what they're doing and chatting along the way. So those will probably be coming in the future, perhaps. I'd like to make them, but I still need to figure out a whole lot before I do that. Question 3. What are you most excited about for this new channel? I guess the thing I'm most excited about is interacting with like-minded people. I've been watching a lot of BookTube over the years, but I've always been a bit of a lurker. I don't think I've ever left a comment on a BookTube video, and I'd like to change that, but now I've actually got something to link back to, so people can also find out who I am. I love the blogging and the Twitter community, in which I'm trying to become a little more active as well, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like. I'll follow you back, we can chat. But this seems like a fun way to talk more about the things I love, books mainly, and to chat to other people about it. What I'm also looking forward to is just learning new skills. The editing I talked about and just talking in front of a camera. I'm excited to see if I'm going to be any good at it. I don't think I am right now. I'm feeling quite awkward as I'm doing this, staring into a lens. It's actually making me a little bit dizzy, but perhaps I'll get better at it. They say you will get better at it, so we'll see. Question 4. Why do you love reading? Well, I guess reading is like second nature to me. I don't remember a time where I didn't read or I wasn't read to. My parents are both avid readers as well, so for as long as I can remember, they've stimulated me to read, and they also read to me when I was a child. Basically, I just can't imagine my life without reading, as cheesy as that may sound. I think what I love about reading is a combination of things. Books and stories expand my horizons and they teach me a lot of new things, but I think what they mostly teach me is other viewpoints besides my own, or viewpoints I might never even have thought of before. I think books and stories can teach you empathy, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Stories and books also keep my imagination active, and I love how a good story, or a story that I personally really like, can inspire awe in me. It makes me feel, well, happy basically. And of course there's the escapism part. Life isn't always fun, and I always can rely on books to, if not cheer me up, at least have me distracted for a little while. That sounds pretty dark, I know, but it's true. Talking this much isn't doing my throat any favor, so I have a cup of tea helping me out. This is hard, man. Anyway, on to question 5, I think. What books or series got you into reading? Another difficult question. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I've always read, or have always been read to. My parents always read me stories before bedtime, and I think that's what made me fall in love with stories and with books. Before I could even read, I memorized books, making people think. I was able to read at a very young age, and I think I could read at a pretty early age anyway. And once I started reading, I never really stopped. One book I think about when I think about this question is Matilda by Roald Dahl. I loved that book as a child. I think I basically memorized it at some point because I read it so often. Now, I still read it quite regularly because it makes me feel happy and warm inside, and it's just such a wonderful story. But if I think about reading and my love for reading, that's one of the books I think about. And also there's Harry Potter, of course. How could I not mention Harry Potter in this very first YouTube video of mine? Harry Potter didn't get me into reading. I think I was already reading children's books by that time, and my parents were reading to me, but I loved Harry Potter. I fell in love with it immediately, and my parents read the first few books to me, and then I started reading them on my own. And I'm still reading them every now and then, because I don't know why. They're just amazing. I think most of BookTube will agree with me. So the next question. I've lost count by this time, so I'm not even going to number them anymore. What questions would you ask your favorite BookTubers? I don't really have many questions, I think. Perhaps where do you get the confidence? I find this thing really scary. I mean, I'm talking to a camera right now on my own in my living room with just my 2 guinea pigs keeping me company and chewing away on hay. But the thought of putting this out there and having people see it, mostly people I know because they will find it because they follow me on Twitter and other places, it scares the heck out of me, man. How do you do it? I do want to quickly mention Jean from Bookish Thoughts though, because I've been thinking about filming my first YouTube video for ages now, and she just put up a video this week or this weekend perhaps on why you should start a BookTube channel or YouTube channel if you want to. So that just kind of felt like fate, and I don't even believe in fate. So thanks, Jean. You're probably not watching this, but I'll tell you anyway. And I'll put the link to her video in the description if you're interested. Next question. What challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Well, again, the confidence thing. I'm not an insecure person anymore. I used to be pretty insecure, but I'm quite happy with who I am now, and I think I'm unapologetically me for the most part. I don't care what people think of me in real life much anymore. I want my friends to like me and I want to be kind, but I don't care if people think I'm a nerd or weird for the things I like. That doesn't bother me anymore. However, sitting in front of a camera makes me feel very vulnerable. Another thing which might seem like a weird or small thing, I don't really wear makeup. I'm wearing a little bit of lipstick right now because I felt very naked and a little bare without it in front of the camera, but I don't wear any makeup besides that, and I always see people on BookTube with full face makeup which looks beautiful and which I love, but I don't do that, and for some reason that's been one of the biggest hurdles for me. I'm not going to be wearing any makeup probably in these videos except for some color on my lips, and for some reason I'm scared that people might judge me for that. Or I thought about putting on makeup, especially for YouTube, but that just seems like something that isn't me, so I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't even know how to do that, to be honest. I haven't worn makeup beyond some stuff on my lips since I was 18, I think. So you're just gonna have to take me or leave me, I guess. Barefaced and all. One other challenge. English isn't my first language. I'm Dutch, like I said, and it's a little scary for me to film this video in English. I haven't been speaking that much English anymore since I graduated university. I studied English in uni. And I feel like it's going quite well right now, but still it's a little bit... It feels a little bit stunted and I still have to get used to it. But I also know my accent doesn't have to be perfect because I'm not from England or from America or from Australia or from anywhere else where they speak English. I'm Dutch. My English is pretty decent, I think, but that doesn't mean I have to sound exactly the same. Okay, we're gonna have to speed it up because my memory card is almost full. Looks like I'm going to have to buy a new one that's bigger so I can actually film these videos. The next question is, when did you start reading? And I kind of already answered that. I've always read. So, on to question number penultimate. Where do you read? I mostly read at home, like most people I think, and I mostly read on my big comfy red couch. I'm not really good at reading out and about in public. I get distracted very easily. I don't focus well even on trains or some places like that. I'll read the same sentence over and over again and not make any progress. So yeah, mostly at home, perhaps on my balcony. And then the last question, what kind of books do you like to read? I like to read all kinds of books. I love young adult contemporary. I think that's one of my favorite genres. I'm actually reading The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon right now, which is going to be out in movie theaters soon, which is why I picked it up, since I want to read it before the film comes out. But I also like to read fantasy. I've just finished The Fellowship of the Ring, finally, for the first time. And I love adult contemporary, I love sci-fi, I love light romantic reads. I'm a huge fan of Jill Mansell and Jenny Colgan. I enjoy thrillers and detectives as well, but I don't really read them as much. I'm not sure why. I guess I just don't own very many of them, and that's not really a good reason because I buy books all the time. I don't know. I'm actually about to read later this month a book called Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder, I think it is. I don't have it here right now. But apparently it's the first one in a series of like 26 or 27 books all related to baking and murder, which sounds amazing, so I'm going to read that soon. Some of my favorite books, to give you an idea, are The New York Trilogy by Paul Auster. It's the first one that comes to mind. But then also Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sands, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, I Love Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. So many books from a lot of different genres. I just basically love to read. So those were all the questions, so that's all from me. If you like this video and think you might like to see more of me, please subscribe to my channel. That would be really nice. No pressure. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram, on Goodreads, my blog. Gosh, I'm everywhere. I'll leave all my links down below. And if you'd like to leave a comment, that would be wonderful. I'd love to chat with you. What book are you reading right now? What's your favorite book? Do you have any tips for me on my channel? What would you like to see? I want to hear it all, so please let me know. Thank you very much for watching. That was it. I'm going to drink my tea now because my throat hurts. Bye!